behind the scenes when the camera go off and nigga take a break, man, it goes bananas in here.
Man, that's what I said before.
It's always like niggas sitting around the table playing cards and just being like,
like the Broadway kitchen, like always. Okay, so now we back.
Yeah.
All right, Carey, man, you touched on a lot of shit. That last little shit about the military and seeing the world. That was pretty impressive, man. It kind of gave me pause a second to reconsider like my thought process. I appreciate
and
that.
And Egyptian bitches.
Yeah.
It was going popping.
That's how it was when I was
You got to the pros and you got to the cons, both sides.
Okay. Was that it? Okay, so let's
the cons of the military? Yeah, the pros and the cons. Like
when we talked about the pros, I really don't have too many. I wish I would have stayed, bro.
But the people that couldn't pass basic
training,
they got some time.
Yeah, they was a little soft. You could tell they probably didn't grow up in a single family household or in the neighborhood.
Surviving.
Yeah, they don't know how to survive.
Yeah.
I mean, you have people trying to swallow being gay and tie their neck on the buffer thing and throw it off.
What?
Yeah, man. Them folks there.
The floor buffer?
Bro, yeah. Trying to kill themselves, bro.
You get up out of here. They had the same things in boot camp. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's where it was, in boot camp.
No, I'm talking about when you go to prison, it's like, okay, you do boot camp.
You been there?
No, but I know like if I'm gonna know shit, ask questions. No, and
You never know.
they don't do that no more because it became inhumane. You know what I'm saying? So you in the military doing stuff that criminals cannot. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if you tap out, I don't care if you there. If you got to do a 3-year sentence, and they say if you do this boot camp, you know what I'm saying, you only here for 6 months and then you go home. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if you're there for 3 months. You tap out. You got to start all the way from the beginning, from 0 days in
from scratch.
So you did shit that motherfuckers tapped out about.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. It was fun to me.
So, okay, cool. So let's just kind of move it forward because the producer is, you know what I'm saying, on our heads about this shit. Okay, so you come, you back, you did the military thing. When you start running your entrepreneurial shit, like, you know what I'm saying, when you start making moves on that.
I'm gonna be honest, man. When I was in the military, I used to come home to visit here and there. And I used to look at everybody like, damn, y'all fucked up. Y'all niggas doing the same shit we was doing when we was kids. Y'all hanging out, drinking, hustling. Like, nah, I remember pulling up at June's house, and I was in some slacks, and because we was like grown,
Yeah, I remember that.
And Mike D was out there. Mike was like, damn, bro, you coming from court?
Because a lot of people that come straight from the military, even if you visited, you still got your pants and buttoned up and
we tight.
And everything is real tight.
My son called it keeping your military bearing. When I just went to visit him out of basic training, he, everything was about, and before he went, that ain't gonna change me. I ain't gonna change. I'm gonna be this. Yeah. So now he walking with his chest out, shoulders up, showing us how to be marching, tight ass and shit. Squeezing in, Yeah, I can't do that because I don't want to mess up my military bearing. I'm representing.
Taking that bait up.
So it gave me a sense of pride. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
And that's the shit you can't get from the streets, per se. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I wish I would have switched my game. Okay, so now you
home.
Yeah.
I used to come home. This is what I was about to say. I used to come home and visit and see the stuff that was going on. And I used to talk shit about motherfuckers that was back home. Like, shit, I ain't coming back home to that shit. Them motherfuckers got me fucked up. They doing the same shit. But then when I got out, I tapped right into the same shit.
That's a groove. You got more that groove.
I can't, because my goal was to come home to re-enlist because I was in Fort Irwin, that's in the middle of the desert in California.
Okay.
And I wanted to get out of there, but they told me I had to stay 2 more years out there because that's the training center where everybody comes from around the world to fight us, and we're the opposite, the ops.
Mm-hmm.
And they used to come and fight us. And we stayed in the field 3 weeks out of the month. I mean, stuck in the desert, driving tanks and, all that And I got married and all that, Shorty wasn't acting right and, just all that, So when I came home, my goal was to come home and re-enlist to go back to Europe, because that was fun. But when I came home, I got caught up, like, damn, okay. go get money. Everybody get money. Everybody hustling. You know, I remember my first episode of trying to hustle once I got home, dealing with some Southfield niggas. I didn't know Southeast dope was different from Southfield.
What was different?
The dope I had was blown up. Yeah, I didn't know. I'm fresh out the game, you know, I go meet, drop, dip, bop, they call me like, nah, nigga, you gotta bring this shit back, bro. You know, so that was my first experience that, you know, you can't trust everybody with
And that you still getting dropped.
Yeah, I had to blow it up shit because, you know, nigga was stretching it, you know, and I trusted the source, so I didn't, you know no difference. And when I told him, I'm like, bro, you gave me this bullshit, like, nigga, I could have got killed behind that shit, you know what I'm saying? So.
What year is this? What we talking about?
That's, I came home in 94.
Okay.
Yeah, so you talking about 94, 95, somewhere around there. Because I came home and tried to do the right thing first. You know, I tried to get jobs. Like my man said, the negative part is, you know, when nobody hiring, I'm an infantry soldier. All I do is know how to carry a gun and ride a tank and shoot, you know.
And they had that thing back there where, you know what I'm saying,
they had the thing came out.
You say, yeah, you get more points. And
they had a thing when I came home when the military dude went to the post office and shot up some shit or something. So I came home right behind
for military.
That was my occupation.
You know how to kill a motherfucker with your hands and the shit.
So it was just like, it was a tough time, you know, and I didn't want to go work in a warehouse. Here I am used to living a certain lifestyle.
Yeah.
So coming home, you know, hitting the streets, you know, it was easy. Everything's been easy.
That's what's up.
You know, I don't know what it is. It's just like I can adapt like a chameleon and just come in and absorb and run and make shit look easy.
So your first official business was?
So dope.
That's not official.
So the first legitimate business was, you know, when I came home, I ended up getting a clothing store in Whittier. Well, it wasn't a clothing store back then.
That's where I was about to go to.
It was.
Tell us about the layers of Lucky Brothers.
It started off as a game room record store, and then I added selling pagers to it. You know.
Right,
that's when
the pager.
That's when the pager dad kicked off, and I opened up a pager store, the game room. We had pool tables and all that in the spot. And I see Money Mike rocking, you know, and I've always been a spud. You know, if I see you.
So Money Mike's was before you?
Yeah, Money Mike, to Liz, all them was all.
Well, I know to Liz, but I just remember because your shit was left field. You know what I'm saying? So I just thought like I can't even remember Money Mike.
Yeah, I always, you know, been kind of like a sponge. If I see you doing it, I think that I could do it. You know, if you doing it, why can't I? Right. So I'm gonna try it. And I had unlimited sources of income because I was still in the streets. You know, honestly, you know, so it wasn't 100% business. It was, I had money to do whatever I wanted to do. So it was like,
why not?
Why not? I can, you know. So.
And I always tell people, even this day, when crack hit, it was a blessing and a curse. You know what I'm saying? We see what it did to people. But the blessing was, man, we could have owned all the Parsons Avenue,
we should have.
Main Street, Cleveland Avenue, but we had fun with it. You
know? But nobody taught us how to do that.
No, you know why they didn't? Because there was no crack ever. You know, that was the first.
But I'm saying it's like a
business entrepreneur.
We made the rules. When crack came, we made the rules up. And you see how New York was doing it. It'd be one dude, and you got all these blocks, and everybody said.
But we had older black people that owned carryouts, property,
and all that.
It's a prime example.
They didn't come back and say, okay, let me show my young dude how to do it.
Mount
Carl Jones or whatever. Carl Brown. Didn't nobody come back and say, you know what, let me show the young brothers, they get a little money, let me show you how to take this and do something different. Right. We didn't have that. You know?
They were learning
from experience.
Their
hands would be out and they'd just be touching that money instead of saying, give me that 10,000 and let's go buy a property, or let me show you how I got Carl Browns, or
none of that.
But even if we didn't touch it, you know what I'm saying? We just sat on that motherfucking shit till you was mature enough to know what the fuck to do with it. We didn't do that.
Without somebody with
that's
the
because
blueprint.
We was living a different lifestyle than our parents.
Yeah.
Once we started
Well,
selling
definitely our
hustling,
parents couldn't
that's
tell us
not
because
there.
they would check the check.
That was very
they all they knew was get an education, get a good job, and work. That's it. They didn't know different.
Because that's what they didn't do. Yeah, somebody told them they ain't do it, so now they gonna force it on you. But it's like, no, society changed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Society is now a drug, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care if you came in with a boom, boom, in the neighborhood, 15,000 girls is coming to the door.
Jeans place. That's what that place was. Jeans place.
Everybody gonna come out the door.
Jeans place. Right down the corner. There you go, Dia.
That's what's up.
So who came up? Because I mentioned, I brought up Lucky Brothers.
Yeah.
So did you open up before you became Lucky Brothers, or?
Nah, Lucky Brothers
Or was that before?
spent off, from really me and Billy.
Right.
One and incorporate all of us together. But business and family always don't mix.
Never.
It's a beautiful thing that y'all stay connected like that.
I don't like you though.
No doubt, you ain't got it, but you love him.
I do.
Enough that y'all work together.
On Wednesdays.
And when we opened up Lucky Brothers, it was about us being connected and starting to build something together.
Right.
But the work ethic was different because he was still doing what he was doing and I was doing what I was doing, but I'm more business focused. So it was like I had to run the business. When it's time to order stuff, do stuff, run the business, I had to run the business. So that's really not a business partner that
Not 50-50.
Yeah, it's not, you showing up to celebrate with your homeboys that
And you walk in like that, then you gonna play a game of pool.
I'm sitting behind the counter.
One passion was stronger than the other.
Yeah, so
Or say they was riding down the street behind each other up and down Livingston, and you at the store watching the store.
Billy Carey on there. Nigga, I'm in here doing all the goddamn work. Ain't nobody in this motherfucker showing up to get the glorification, but I'm doing my work. So, that's how it all got started, and then it gradually evolved with the time changing.
Right.
Neighborhoods start adapting to me, per se, and I kind of evolved. Dealing with Talibs and different stuff. I had a chance to expand where I was already going. The first business venture with the pagers and all that. That just opened the door. Now I'm seeing Talib going to clothing shows and I'm asking questions now. Like I said, I'm asking questions.
Yeah.
So now I got to bring what he doing. I want to do it now too, because you doing it. Why can't I?
And then but you add your own twist to it and shit.
And the twist was that I was getting clothing lines that they wouldn't get.
Right.
They was only touching the clothing lines that was hot. I was touching the underdogs, the newcomer ones. You just coming out.
Ball.
And,
Hard
Hard Knocks, School of Hard Knocks. All the people that wasn't getting no play in the neighborhood, I was touching them. Fat Joe, I bring all that shit to the city. What nobody messing with me. And it was a hot industry because all the rappers had clothing lines. The music industry expanded. Unlike now, they ain't. You got the Africans and everybody selling bootleg, everything bootleg.
Right.
So,
And motherfuckers are more adapted. They cool with the bootleg today a lot more than they was back then. Like they really.
Niggas ain't.
I seen the rapper. I seen the rapper.
They
They were here like they got the bootleg joint. I'm getting that.
Hey,
Why would I
this social
spend
media
all
and
that?
bootleg. I can't find a DVD stores.
Oh, your DVDs over.
Yeah, they over.
I'm talking about bootleg on the gear. Now,
Yeah.
so the DVD game, the streaming and all that shit, I murdered that.
Carey, what year we talking about around this point?
You looking at the late 90s.
When Lil Wayne was there.
Yeah, Lil Wayne, Mario and them run Lil Wayne and them. Rod Rico's, I gotta give him a shout out. That became my man. Roddy Rod, that became my guy.
And Juvenile.
Rest in peace.
He came home and it was an incident that happened in the neighborhood when they did a sweep. And I grabbed my little nigga ZB. We jetted up to Michigan with Rod, like shit, Rod, we on our way. And he houses, so it was back then it was a beautiful time, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Then you had the nigga that kicked off the snitching in the neighborhood, nigga kicked it off real tough, had all the niggas fucked up.
Went out the group.
It was like it was him.
They got to go under. And it's crazy because the nigga came to me and he my cousin's family. Man, it was fucked up because I didn't really deal with too many motherfuckers. I had a handful that I, associated with, and anybody else outside of that, I really didn't deal with, So he came to me, and it just felt weird. And he always get to jail and kept getting out. And I always had the flyest cars and the big rims and
all the red flags.
Yeah, the nigga was, but the nigga was telling on everybody. So the nigga came to me, he was like, K-Mac, let me do that bop. And I'm like, I'll do that. And luckily I was fortunate enough to not go into that trap.
Right.
Cause I remember when Batman Toboggan, his ass hit me on my phone. Like, man, why don't want Toboggan?
Yeah.
Why don't want nobody telling me?
What?
Yeah, he hit me like,
Called
you? Yeah. Why won't nobody telling you? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, shit. Y'all trying to send this nigga. I know y'all send that nigga. You know what I'm saying?
And that motherfucker, bro, I used to be like,
he stroked the motherfuckers.
Who was it?
Unconstitutional.
I don't know if we want to say that here because we don't want him to look back.
Just say he out after doing 20 years after being set up or telling on people.
And our man, and he
did a murder on his own. And
he took our man.
He murdered him, motherfucker.
Matter of fact, look, my phone wouldn't let it. He was there too. The day I told our man, that something don't seem right about that nigga.
Yeah. He supposed to be in Atlanta right now.
doing it.
But yeah, it was a fucked up situation, And
You still had the low lows.
Yeah, and luckily I didn't fall into the trap. Because I would have been in the sweep right
Why
away.
would nobody telling you?
That ain't shit though. Because when me and Z went to motherfucking Michigan, he called my phone again while we was in Michigan talking about you need to tell your dudes, the little homies from the neighborhood, to leave dude's mom and them alone. Because they found out he was doing it, and they went and did something to his mom or something.
Pressing.
Yeah.
Because
that motherfucker.
Yeah. So
he sent one on our way.
He called me. He was like, K-Mac, whatever you want me to call you. You need to call your homeboy. I'm like, shit, nigga, I'm in Michigan. I don't live there no more. Shit. So it's a rough one, man.
PC.
So, did you ever get jammed up though?
I did eventually end up getting jammed up. Something about me, I got a big heart, and I don't mind helping people. And so one of my peoples came home that I didn't really know, but he was part of the family that I was associated with, and we took a trip. I wanted to take a trip. I thought I was about to be on. He was Cuban, and I felt like, okay, this is my turn, man. I'm about to bust this shit wide open. And I really didn't have to, because what we was doing really didn't save me no money. I was already doing that in the city. I was just saving $1,000, so I didn't really have to take the trip, but I was doing it because I was working on the pipeline. You already got jammed. You already know your reputation, so you're gonna get money. You're gonna do it by any means. And because he was family, he told me, he said, if something happened, don't worry about it. I'm gonna tell him it's me. Because he just came home from the feds. He was like, shit, I'm already gonna go away. I'm gonna tell him it's me. So this is crazy. The first go around, down, back, made it good. I'm praying to God, this is gonna be my last time doing this. God, help me get back. Help me get back. You know what I'm saying? So we make it back, everything good. It's ready for a new trip. Everything was, my girl was pregnant, everything was saying don't go. She was saying don't go, this and that. I'm like, shit. To be honest, I was having fun when we went to Florida. You know what I'm saying? I had maybe a little motherfucker, foreigner. You know what I'm saying? Bad motherfucker. Like, shit, we hit the road.
I'll be there in a minute.
Yeah. I'm here to say about that. And, he lived that type of lifestyle. So we went and promised the God that I wasn't gonna do it again, but I did it. And coming back, we got stopped.
Testing, huh?
Yeah.
Testing the water.
I was testing, and that's one thing I don't do now. I do not promise God nothing because I
What's
know
up, man?
you will have to pay the consequences. You know.
And that goes back to like I said, I used to listen to niggas. Like I even if we ain't actually have a conversation, I would listen to motherfuckers or watch some shit that didn't happen and be like,
Yeah,
That's game.
that might
That's
work
people
for
game.
me.
Yeah.
Like, you know, because especially when you know people also know multiples in the situation or something like that, multiple people and know some shit. Like, you like, homie ain't do that. I ain't doing it either.
and I, you know, I was just like, you know what, the first time we made it, so you know, I'm a rock with it. Let's roll, you know. And at the end of the day, I think it was a blessing that I did get caught. Yeah, I got caught, man. God got too comfortable. I got, you know, where I felt shit. I'm living Scarface. Goddamn it, ain't nobody gonna fuck with me.
Right.
You know, I'm blooded up. You know, I'm in the neighborhood. We doing this, doing that. Yeah.
Under the radar.
And I don't fuck with nobody.
And ain't nobody telling.
Yeah, ain't nobody telling. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it was a blessing because I started hearing chatter about niggas wanting to set me up or come and rob
That
me.
shit was popping in
Yeah,
the
you know, motherfuckers was ready to come up. And just luckily that somebody that wanted to do it to me asked somebody that they didn't know that was my family. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit, I want you to go. Just let us in and do this, boop, bop, bop. So he came to me like, shit, bro, we're gonna set this off and let him come, you know? Right. And I'm gonna open the door for him and we're gonna get him. You know? So I was like, nah, we ain't about to do all that because I ain't trying to, you know, be in that type of mix, just kill the whole shit. So after that, shit went south and, you know, I got caught. And I like I said, it was a blessing, you know. I've never realized or thought that going to prison would be a blessing, but for some people it become a blessing, for some people it become repetitive. People don't change, you know, because they make it real comfortable for people when they go to prison. You know, where else can you go, like the military, you got 3 free meals, you ain't gotta worry about no debt, no bills, no nothing, and you get to watch BET all day.
Because that's where I was about to go. I was about to ask you, what you going into the prison conversation, you know, being not caught up. I was going to ask you, what going to prison what did prison do to your business mind? You know, how did that affect you, like knowing what you did beforehand, and then coming out having to breathe this fresh air?
Really, it gave me a chance to marinate, sit back and relax and think about stuff, you know, because I've always been business minded or had ideals, but I wasn't able to focus on it because I was getting fresh money every day. When you get fresh money every day, everything, you know, the business, I had a nice business before it, and I didn't take it serious because I was in
money was coming.
Yeah, I own a clothing store, this and that, and
your mornings was beautiful.
yeah. Why? I mean, if it don't sell, I'm just put it on sale just to get my money back. Just to get rotation.
You get that practice before you go open the store.
Yeah, just
you know what I'm saying. Like
it's you know, sitting down really gives you a chance to realize what's really important. And my grandfather used to always tell me, he said, "Meathead," he's calling me meathead. You only get out of life what you put in it. You don't put nothing in it, you don't get nothing out. And it took me to go to prison to lay in one of them bunks in a room about this size with seemed like 1,000 motherfuckers, right? To realize, damn, meathead, you only get out of life what you put in it. That's what you was putting in it. This is what you gonna get.
That's what's up.
You know. So I spent my time focused on redeveloping what I already had the passion for, which is business. And I love business, you know. So I used to sit down, write business plans, and you know, doodle, and you know, just write all different types of stuff that I wanted to do when I get out. And coming back to the streets, I knew I couldn't promise God, because I promised him when I went. I said, you know, God, you help me get through this.
Because you get a clarity in prison. Yeah. Like you get away from the weed, the drinks, bitches, all the sins, you just in that motherfucker.
And I've seen
clear up.
And I've seen people that I didn't want to be like. Yeah. This ain't my life. I'm not about to sit and argue with you over a remote control to watch Lifetime, nigga. you know, or get told when I could go eat and when I can't eat, or I gotta go buy something off a commissary. We going have breaks and you know all that different stuff. That ain't my lifestyle. That ain't how I live.
Now you the motherfucker work. I'm like,
Yeah,
no, I would never. That's breaking hell. Motherfuckers like nigga.
Motherfuckers glorifying.
I mean that motherfucker like.
But I
know niggas still make breaks to this day.
Right out on the street like nigga.
Yeah. So you start appreciating the small stuff that you know didn't realize that was a blessing.
Arby's.
Yeah, you know all that different stuff. You know,
Look, I seen that.
you got niggas stealing vegetables off the kitchen and bring it to y'all.
That motherfucker got veggies, nigga.
Yeah. So the hustle game don't stop. They just go in there. They they get around the same type of environment that they used to, and they don't grow.
It's lit. Yeah,
They hustle.
That's where the bows, they sell all the bows at the restaurants and shit now. That's where that shit started at in prison. Somebody is on prison that used to be in the joint is on somebody's staff or a chef that came up to this brother, somebody showed you how to make a bow. Now they sell them at everywhere.
Yeah, so that
Layered.
that kicked it off, man. I vowed when I came home and made a promise to God when I come home. That won't be the route. I don't care what I had to go through, what struggles that I had to go through. That won't be the route that I go back. You know, hustle ain't just selling dope.
Right.
Hustle is a mindset.
Having a job is hustle.
Yeah.
If you use it like that.
And that's how something I always say too.
Hustle was
Like,
hustle. That's what dope.
The best thing that the drug game I think gave to me is the hustle.
Yeah.
Like you can never anything now. It's whatever I got for sale or whatever.
What you willing to pay for
something to do. You know what I'm saying? Because, and I tell my kids that I don't tell them that. You know, the dope game gave me the hustle.
Man said he still
But I tell them that. But I'm man said that.
I like the breaks though.
But are you making them out of lobster now?
Yeah, I'm fucking that grill.
Big ass
is good
steaks,
as
you
well.
make it stop it. But then it'd be like, I always try to tell them like, you know, it's good to work for some shit, to respect your shit, to learn.
Respect the dollar.
Because when you work for it, because I tell them, if you learn the value of $1, then you'll have some money.
Hustle means just keep moving.
Yeah, anything over zero's a bet.
If I say fire me from this right there, like this is tomorrow, motherfucker.
You know, they selling
I'm planning for tomorrow.
You know, it's crazy because they selling rocks.
Right.
Rocks is free. Rocks is everywhere.
Yeah.
But them motherfuckers is getting rocks, selling them off the you know what I mean, bagging that shit up and giving it to you so you decorate your lawn.
Decorate your shit.
Yes,
I see the motherfucker with a
water. We is drinking water right now. This shit is free. Yeah, this shit is free. But it's a hustle. For somebody that said, okay, let me bottle this up.
For the inconvenience.
Yeah, and let me sell this to somebody because, hey,
It's more convenient.
Okay, so when you touched down, what was your first move?
first move, I knew I was in the halfway house. I knew I had to get a job, and luckily, you know, I give June because all the props. Because when I came home, I didn't know which direction I was gonna go. I never really had, like Paul said, I never really had a clock in. You know, I never really had a job. So when I came home, you know, Unc and June, you know, they said, well, nephew, you here with us, you know, you come on in, you know, and that kind of gave me the cushion that I needed. And it's crazy because when people come home, they don't have no cushion.
Right.
So the first thing they do is go back what they know.
Right. First thing.
Yeah, and the people that they was around is there not to encourage them, but to put them in the same position. And I always said when I came home, if you are trying to put me in the same position, you're trying to hurt me. Because nigga, you know I just came home from doing 60 months. And you want me to go back there evidently because you're trying to give me the wrong hustle to let me in the same situation.
Right. And then because it take a little bit of time, like if you for real about, you know how you was for real about not going back to prison.
I made a promise.
To get back.
I made a promise the second time.
Yeah.
Hey, he said, you're going to pay for it. I wasn't making no promise.
And that was a real promise.
Yeah, this is a real promise.
You got jail talk. Jail talk ain't just for bitches. You jail talk yourself into some shit.
Yeah. And the thing is also that a lot of motherfuckers, like if you can't get out of the same cycle or circle that you in, these motherfuckers really don't know no better. So if you put yourself back in that situation, you know what I'm saying? You can't really fault these motherfuckers for doing what the fuck they always do.
But if you're going through that shit right now, you getting out there, actually a lot of places tell you, you know what I'm saying, when they releasing you, you know what I'm saying, Columbus, Ohio, if you want to start all over, come to Columbus, Ohio. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't get a job as a felon quicker than a person who can't. You know what I'm saying? $1,500 they get a tax.
It's what you want.
Credit for it. You know what I'm
And not to
saying?
mention, if you was locked up and they got you doing fucking mopping the floor and working in the kitchen for $18 a month or less,
Pennies.
you definitely could come out here and be, you know,
can work
you
for the
gotta
city.
get to the next
You can work
level.
for the city of Columbus with a felony.
You can't now.
Yeah, you got easy. They get that $1,500 per felony. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's that tax break for the rich that all y'all keep frowning on because y'all know what it means. Y'all just look at the title of it. You know what I'm saying?
So, Kerry, let me ask you this.
Yes, sir.
Would you say, you talked about taking that L, but would you say that it was there one person, one thing, or one situation that pushed you to, you said that you was doing the dope, you had the business going, but would you say it's one thing that pushed you into the lane that you in today? Was it one thing, one person,
Or
one
situation?
situation? Yeah, right here, right now.
Well, I think having a made up mind made me,
In prison.
you know, experiencing that prison and coming home having a made up mind and you know, making a decision. You know, we have to make decisions and choices, you know.
Yeah.
And based on what we decide, like I said, me is you gotta get out like what you put in.
Yeah.
You know.
So you said your grandfather, that was, you know what I'm saying?
I can say that
Even before you knew that was good game, he was putting that good game.
he gave me something that I stick to, and my kids they know that language automatic because I gave it to them. You know, you only gonna get out of life what you put in, and they finish it.
We talked about this earlier. You know what I'm saying? The game can be put on you by your elders.
And your
It's
elders.
one here and one out
Yeah,
the
but it's a
That's
seed
what
You
plan.
gotta wake up to that. You know
It's
what I'm saying?
about
People are
mindset.
telling us, you know what I'm saying, but it ain't important enough for us to listen.
Because you ain't had that experience.
Yeah, and you're indestructible because of your age.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what's up.
Yeah, so you know him implanting that and then experiencing what I had to go through made me make the choice that I'm not going to go back that route.
Man, Ross said some real shit. Now we see you talking like the levels to you, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
all
I
that
experienced
shit.
it all, man.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move. Do you mind, Ross?
Yeah,
Let's move a little closer to what we got going today. Like how did you
Transition?
You came out.
Yeah.
You had your mind made up.
Yeah.
What was the first move you made?
Went and worked with my uncle now.
Where your uncle? Where's your uncle?
At the Creole Kitchen.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. June. Okay.
So I went and worked with cousin, you know, and that gave me a different outlook. You know, before I went, I had real estate and all that still. When I was in prison, when I came home, it was underwater because the real estate tanked.
Yeah.
When I was
That had to be like, what was that like?
2002, 2003.
Yeah. The bubble had burst.
Bubble bust.
How many properties did you
I
have?
had about 12 units.
Okay.
Yeah, we had about 12 doors that we was working on.
Right.
And when I came home, it was underwater. It was too much. I couldn't maintain it because I wasn't going back to the streets. Now, if I went to the streets, I could have kept all that. But I had to make a decision to let that go and not stress myself out and just work, you know, and start from scratch.
Yeah.
And working with June and them, that gave me a different outlook. You know, June, and it's crazy, I wouldn't have a restaurant now if it wasn't for June.
That's what's up.
Because June, you know, called me one day drunk, left a message on my phone. He like, man, you trying to sell sell you all your real estate, ain't you? Because you want to get you a Creole, don't you? You want to get you a restaurant like us, don't you? I'm like, dang, good. I never thought about it like that because when I came home and got involved with them before I went away, I invested in their barbecue sauce. They was uncle was trying to come out
Shit
with
good
barbecue
as
sauce.
hell too. That's part of my inspiration.
Yeah, and I was an investor in it. So when I came home, it was like, cuz you a partner. And really I wasn't a partner, I was just an investor, you know what I'm saying? Because I didn't get a W-9 or W-2 or nothing. You know? And then I was like, yeah, I was like, cuz, well, you know, why not get something? I was locked up. We didn't want to be involved in that. So this, but you didn't here working. You know, so you know, I took it on the chin. It was like, you know, all right, that's cool. I'm here working. You know, y'all help me get out the halfway house.
Yeah.
You know, I'm staying here. And then 1 year went by. I still didn't get no 2 for being a partner, and then the next year came along.
1090.
Yeah, 1099. I didn't get no 1099, and you know, then my little brother came home from prison, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give my little brother my job, and I'm gonna go do what I gotta do, and I started selling dinners at the house, you know. And that was the most eye-opening thing when I became, you know, selling dope, give you that still that bank business model.
If everything applies,
everything applies to that kind of concept.
They understand it.
My phone, instead of people hit me for work, it's hit me for dinners. I would get everybody's number whenever I had a meal. I send out a text. This is what I got today. How many of y'all want? You know, barber shops, all the different angles. You know, because now I'm hustling. You know, now I got a van. I'm scrapping. I'm going through alleys, and I had to.
Man,
This is iPhone or before iPhone?
No, it was before I ain't had
That made it even hard. So you couldn't even take a picture of it. And see, or you could do it.
I had to. Pride is a mother. You know, I had to drop my pride because I wasn't able to look or be the person I used to be before I went to prison. I came home, I had to, I was going to the thrift store, buying different stuff to wear and different stuff like that while my journey from scratch was coming back.
So, was it anybody like, was it any naysayers? Was it somebody in your ear?
Man,
Why you doing that?
Bro. I almost went back to the streets, and my daughter saved me. You know, all because one of my little homeboys looked at me like, "Damn, Matt, when you gonna get back to being you? What you gonna do? You looking like you smoking or something?" You know what I'm saying? And it hurt my feelings. I went home and almost down there wanted to break down crying. Like, man, you know. So me and my daughter driving. I'm like, baby, would you be mad if I went back to the streets, or would you rather me just keep doing what I'm doing? And Janiyah told me, she was like, Dad, nah, I want you to keep doing what you're doing. You don't need to. I'd rather you do what you're doing than going back to prison. That saved my life for real. You know, made me stick to what I said I was gonna do. Yeah. So, you know, she inspired me to keep pushing.
Hey, as far as your daughter, where is she at? Is that your firstborn? Is that
That's my
the
first
middle?
blood born. You know, I got an older daughter that's, you know, by relationship.
Okay.
And I got
the firstborns, man.
That's the first. Listen, he just said that, and I ain't never heard nobody say it like that. Because you know, we just like, oh, they're my kid. But like that, you know, they say it in a way that's appropriate, like you know, respect.
You don't
Like say
that.
like
That's
my
my
dad's
daughter.
stepkids or something. Right?
My kids, my kids out of relationships with my kids I raised.
Right,
You know
exactly.
what I'm saying? So those are my babies. You know, at the end of the day, no matter what's going on, they daddies might come in the world and be in them are still my babies. Yeah. I raised them, you know. But I was raised like that. Like I said, my mom was married 5 times, so I understand the concept of blended homes. You know?
That's some hard shit though, but yeah, I feel it. All right, bro.
What's next?
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, you was doing so well.
I'm sorry, you know what I'm saying? I'm just in the vibe.
I'm feeling the vibe. You know what I'm saying?
This chop right
This
here.
whole thing.
Hey, the Raw Show podcast. This is good game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If your motherfuckers tapping into it, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, but go. I'm sorry.
Okay, so.
Okay, at this point, this is where we at right now.
The introduction for me is kitchen.
The kitchen.
No,
I
hold
need
on.
to take a break.
Yeah, hold on.
This
Break time.
Give
Go ahead, dog.
me a second. Yeah, I'm out.
Let's go ahead and chop it up. I gotta taste some greens. I want something different. I mean, some chicken from off in his kitchen where ain't no ingredients.
This and this, and I want the bread.
This is a good ass
I
game,
got my
yo.
cornbread, this.
This.
Pick up the phone, come get this. They got the biggest sandwiches.
Yeah, thank you, Lord Jesus.
Is that macaroni and cheese?
Yeah.
Is that macaroni and cheese?
Yeah.
Is that macaroni and cheese?
Yeah. Our famous kitchen. Holler at us. We got you.
Yo, we connected around this motherfucker, man. We giving y'all some shit. You know what I'm saying? Also, what we giving you is
What's up, man?
You know what I'm saying? Draped Imperial Grapes. You know what I'm saying? Man, we putting the city on right here, man. Y'all ain't catching on. Y'all a little too slow. Hey, y'all like, subscribe, comment, and follow. You know what I'm saying? On the what is that?
Show the bottom on the lot. Let me see that.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, we in this motherfucker, man. We connected. Holla at us. The Broadway show. Draped Imperial Grapes. We already did the Nipsey Hussle blue,
You guys buy your
the
own
blue Nipsey Hussle blue. You know what I'm saying? Draped Imperial Grapes. Launch party was yesterday, so look for these fellas to be out, or for my man Wiggle Juice to be out moving and shaking. When y'all see the shit, pick the shit up. It's black love at its finest right here. Most excellent. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, the Broadway Show podcast. Giving up the good game, man. Like, subscribe. Are you ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Hey, fill that man's glass up. You know what I'm saying?
You know, nigga, oh.
Obviously, the blue is gone. The blue